Welcome to Arizona Living, your life, your style. I'm your host, Kate Longworth. Today we're at the Scottsdale Museum of Contemporary Art to discuss family activities that everyone will enjoy this holiday season. But before we start planning that itinerary, let's take a look at what's coming up on the show. We take a trip to the Tucson Botanical Gardens and we visit a unique and interactive exhibit at Arizona Boardwalk. Plus, we tell you about money that's available to help with your education. All that and much more coming your way on Arizona Living. We are at the Scottsdale Museum of Contemporary Art to explore their latest exhibits and check in on some upcoming family events. Joining me now is Director Jennifer McCabe. Thank you so much for having us out here.
We're thrilled to have you here.
Well, first and foremost, just tell me what the museum is all about.
Sure, we're the Museum of Contemporary Art. So contemporary art is our focus, but we also work across architecture and design. We work with artists who are local, national, and international. And we have rotating exhibitions, so you can come multiple times a year and see a completely different experience.
What type of exhibits do you currently have on display?
We have everything from this exhibition that we're standing in right now of the artist Zeneb Sadira, who's an international artist. We have one with an artist from New York, Mimi Ochun, who works in soft sculptures, so these larger-than-life recreations of everyday things. And we also have an exhibition of local young artists called Forever Becoming. So really shows the diversity and range of talent that we have here locally.
Overall, why is the museum just a great event for everyone in the family?
I think the museum is a great place because you're walking together, you're doing an activity together, you're looking together, and then hopefully you're also talking about what you're looking at. And we have like family-friendly guides that can help encourage you, like just prompt you with questions. What stands out to you, or what do you like, or different ideas that can help you talk together as a family.
Why is it so important to introduce young minds, to introduce kids to art at an early age?
I think it's really important for children because it exposes you to all kinds of different perspectives. So you have an artist from Algeria, we have artists on view from Phoenix that come from a wide range of backgrounds. And this exposure to different ideas promotes empathy, I think, which is so important in this day and age.
And I think the size of the museum is so great too. Not too big, not too small. How does this appeal to visitors?
I think it's great because we have 5 gallery spaces. It's easy to tackle in under an hour. There's an outdoor space, there's an activity or kind of hands-on space as well. There's a retail store with all kinds of good things. So it's great to pair with a trip to an ice cream shop or gelato is what my kids like. So go to the museum, go out to lunch or dinner. It's easy to pair with something else too.
You guys have timed visits. How exactly does that work?
So we encourage people to reserve tickets ahead of time online through our website, and it allows us to limit the capacity. So you can be assured when you come to the museum it's not crowded, there aren't a lot of people.
And it is the holiday season. Do you have any specials or promotions going on during this time?
Well, we're free every Thursday and every second Saturday of the month, and we have some special activities taking place in December, so definitely check the website.
Jennifer, thank you so much for having us out here. And if you would like more information on the Scottsdale Museum of Contemporary Art, please head to their website. Another great family activity during the holidays is a trip down south to the Tucson Botanical Gardens.
When people visit the Tucson Botanical Gardens, they'll see that we've organized the grounds by pocket gardens. So we have 16 of these small themed gardens, and really, it was a clever way to take what's an otherwise somewhat small space. 5.5 acres sounds large, but it's not big, especially compared to other gardens around the country, around the world. This way, we've kind of scaled the experience to the visitor, and we can fit much more variety in, rather than trying to do some multi-acre vista that only encompasses a small number of species. So by having 16 pocket gardens, we can really display much more botanical variety in a small space than we might otherwise be able to. I think one thing that is surprising to people when they visit the Tucson Botanical Gardens is just how big we are. Our gate is relatively narrow on Alvernon Road, the main road that we're on, and I think after people enter the grounds, they often are taken aback at just how far to the east and extensive our pocket gardens are. So we really are sort of this garden that's hidden in plain sight. So right now we have a beautiful fine art exhibition called Seeing the Invisible. What's a little different about this exhibition, it utilizes something called augmented reality. So this is a way to experience something through an app on your phone. So Tucson Botanical Gardens is one of 12 gardens worldwide that is partnered with Jerusalem Botanical Garden in Israel to create this augmented reality fine arts exhibition. 13 world-renowned artists have created pieces that are unique to this exhibition that you will experience only through the app. One of the things we're really excited about when people visit is the ability to see our Cox Butterfly and Orchid Pavilion.
Butterfly Magic is Tucson's first and only tropical butterfly and orchid exhibit. Every year we receive over 100 species of butterflies and over 200 flowering orchids are on display. And so every time you come here, there's always something new to see, whether you've been coming here for a decade or it's your first time. This is the home of Rosie the Corpse plant. It bloomed back in 2018, and every year it's put up a gigantic leaf for our visitors to enjoy. When the corpse plant blooms, it puts off a very, very potent smell. We bring in its pollinators, which are essentially small flies, and when it bloomed, we had over 10,000 people come through this exhibit to experience that smell in person. When you come to Butterfly Magic, we are a USDA regulated facility, so we essentially have airlocks at the entrance and exits of our building just to make sure no butterflies are escaping. When you enter the building, you'll notice there is a considerable amount of humidity as we are mimicking a tropical environment. We also have fish, a wonderful little waterfall display, and many other different things to see in addition to the butterflies and orchids. Come see the butterflies because it's a wonderful opportunity to see species that you wouldn't otherwise get to see here in southern Arizona. This is also an opportunity to learn more about kind of nature and why it's so important that we protect the rainforests and the habitats of all of these creatures.
Really, there's no better time than winter in Arizona to explore the great outdoors with hikes at both your local and national parks. There are great paths carved out for every level of hiker. So lace up the boots and hit the trails. But not too quick. We still have more Arizona living coming your way. We talk about the water shortages facing us in Arizona and a trip to a unique and unbelievable place. As more and more people move to Arizona, our water demands also increase. Let's take a look at what the Central Arizona Project is doing to help protect the future of our water supply.
Earlier this year, the Secretary of the Interior declared that the Colorado River would be in a state of shortage for the first time in 2022. So Arizona will take about an 18% cut to its normal Colorado River supply, and that will be passed on to the lowest priority water users in Arizona, which are all Central Arizona Project customers, and this will primarily impact Pinal County agricultural users. CAP will take about a 30% cut to its supply. Because of drought and climate change, we've watched the levels in Lake Mead drop steadily over the last 2 decades, and the hydrology in the last couple of years has been very disappointing. We saw this coming, and the value of having a plan like this is that we can see it coming, we know what's going to happen, we know who it's going to happen to, and we can prepare. There are 3 shortage levels that have been defined, and we call them Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Tier 1 is the shortage level that we will be in 2022. This 18% on the river and 30% reduction to CAP supply. There's a Tier 2 and Tier 3, which is lower still. We've been in Tier 0. It's not a shortage, it's just a reduction, for voluntary reduction for the last couple of years. If the levels in the lake continue to decline, we may go into lower tiers of shortage. So continued conservation that we have been pursuing for a long time is going to be necessary to help get us through this. We can see deeper levels of shortages in the future if the hydrology continues to be as poor as it has been for the last couple of years. And of course, the lower that the lake declines, the less resiliency there is because there's just less water in the lake. Arizona has put away millions of acre feet stored underground to replace the supply that we are reducing from the Colorado River. Longer term, we are looking at desalination or bringing in supplies from elsewhere. The immediate thing that we need to do is conserve, and then recovery and reuse kind of in the medium term, and then finally augmenting the Colorado River supply with other supplies that are available to us. So even with these cutbacks, the CAP Canal is this magnificent piece of infrastructure that goes over 300 miles from the Colorado River down to south of Tucson. Our job is to keep this canal as full as possible and be a reliable water supplier for central and southern Arizona. And we're not just here to provide water, we're here to provide information as well. To learn more, visit knowyourwaternews.com.
If your family is into the strange and unique, you will not want to miss the newest attraction at the Arizona Boardwalk.
We're here at the Science of Ripley's Believe It or Not at Arizona Boardwalk. We're right off the 101 in Scottsdale. We're in a beautiful complex that has 7 great marquee attractions, including Odyssey Aquarium and Butterfly Wonderland. The Science of Ripley's Believe It or Not is full of incredible collection of oddities, artifacts, pop culture, memorabilia. It's amazing, and there's something for everyone here. Everyone in the family will find something fascinating. And believe it or not, these things are all true. They have all been fact-checked, they have all been verified, and it's amazing to walk around and read about some of the crazy things that happen either in nature or some of the things that are man-made. Robert Ripley was an eccentric guy, and he was very adventurous, but he was also very talented. He was a cartoonist and he was an entrepreneur. He had about 80 million followers, and they would send pictures in and tell them about oddities that were happening all across the country and all around the world. And then he was so adventurous that he decided to travel everywhere to see if all of these wonders and these oddities were indeed true. And people loved it. In fact, he was getting more mail than the President of the United States. Guests will marvel at a plethora of unusual artifacts and get hands-on with amazing interactives. Adults and children will become immersed in incredible art, animal oddities, pop culture memorabilia, interactive games, and stories of people and places that are incredibly hard to believe, but undeniably true. Come see the tallest man alive, Robert Wadlow. He stood almost 9 feet tall, and he will stand up right next to you, and you can see how you measure up to someone that tall. If you have young kids, read to them and tell them what they're seeing. And some of these things are interactive, so you'll be able to push buttons and learn more. This is a wonderful addition to Arizona Boardwalk, having the Science of Ripley's Believe It or Not right here for guests local and from out of town to be able to come and see wonders of the world. With my family, with my son, I can be able to see all kinds of things that I can walk away just a little bit more cultured and a little bit more knowledgeable about the world that's out there around me.
Got some time to spare? An activity that is often overlooked is bowling, and the lanes have come a long way with their modern and high-tech features and full arcades. So dust off the old bowling ball and head out to your local lanes. We're striking up more conversation on Arizona Living right after this. We'll show you a place offering a lifeline for today's stresses and a way to get financial help for your education. For many, the holidays bring a lot of stress. Fortunately, the counselors at Lifeline PCS can help you cope with those added challenges.
Lifeline PCS is an outpatient behavioral health clinic. We specialize in all modalities of treatment for all populations. We have 6 different locations throughout, and we are here to serve the community in any way that they can possibly need. There is a misperception sometimes that counseling is strictly for people with serious mental illnesses. However, given the current times that we're all dealing with the pandemic, we're actually seeing people who for the first time are dealing with behavioral health issues. So we have people who for the first time are dealing with basic needs, not being able to pay rent, not being able to have money for groceries. And so we're really encouraging people who maybe for the first time that they've ever experienced behavioral health issues to come and seek counseling, because it definitely can help get through the really tough times.
The effect of COVID on counseling today has really made a big impact. My specialty is trauma, so kind of seeing it as this almost global trauma that everybody's had to go through, no matter the impact on people personally. You know, sometimes people are just impacted by the change in their environment or the requirement from work or having to stay home. There is a lot of different impacts of COVID, and people have come to see us for grief and loss, unfortunately, and kind of helping navigate through these difficult times. We were lucky enough to be really prepared to go forward with teletherapy, and even that, you know, it's great that we still get to stay connected with our clients and help learn from them. But there is a craving, I feel, from the community just for that personal interaction again and to be in office. And so there's always kind of this underlying frustration that people are grateful maybe that they get to connect or escape, but that frustration that it's still in the same, you know, maybe 4 walls that they've been in all day or for work. And I think the biggest impact is not everybody's home life is safe. Sometimes it adds stresses to stay home or to be in an environment where you feel like you can't divulge all the information you would in a safe, private setting in counseling. And so there's been a lot of challenges that we've just kind of been going through those stages with our clients, you know, grieving the frustration, being anger, kind of being in denial for some people, and helping to kind of move through that acceptance of where we are and what we can do.
The question is it weak when somebody seeks counseling? Does it make them a weak person? In fact, clients that come to us are some of the most resilient and strong people you would ever meet. They are, however, bound by basic survival every day due to traumatic experiences, adversity that they've experienced. They're not recognizing that strength and that power that they have. What we try to do from the very beginning is create hope for them. We hold a space for hope until we can help them quiet down some of that trauma and adversity, and then they little by little start to recognize their own strength and intensity. So it's definitely not a sign of weakness to ask for counseling. In fact, one of the bravest things that I think someone can say is, "Help me."
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Arizona Living from SMoCA right after this, including what you can do to help with college costs. The cost of a higher education has skyrocketed, but the good news is there's financial help out there if you know where to look.
It was important for me to get my FAFSA done because I am a first-generation college student. When I saw the price tags for college, I was like, I have no idea how I'm gonna pay for this. I was really afraid of it, honestly, but the FAFSA was pretty straightforward. I didn't let it intimidate me. I listened to my counselors and I got through it in maybe 30, 40 minutes, and it really has just opened the doors for a lot of different scholarships and opportunities for me. It's crazy to me that just 40 minutes of my life in completing that application completely changed it and set me on this path to success. I know that if I hadn't completed the FAFSA, I probably wouldn't be standing here right now. So definitely take those 40 minutes out of your day and just go for it. Give it a shot. The worst that can happen is you don't qualify for it, but there are so many students and so much money that goes unaccounted for every year.
Paying for college is not very easy, and so I know that FAFSA is a great way to get some free money from the federal government, and so that they can support me as I go through my college journey, and so that I can be successful. And so I know that to be out of debt, I can use my FAFSA to help me pay for college.
So the FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid, and it's important for seniors to complete because it unlocks financial aid opportunities so that they can fund their post-secondary education. So whether that's going into a certificate program, a two-year degree, a university, it helps students and families understand what's available to them to help pay and fund for their education. So the Arizona FAFSA Coalition has created several resources available for students and families to complete the FAFSA. So we have a number of resources available where students can text in to Ask Benji to basically ask any questions that they have on the FAFSA application, and they'll get immediate response back. We also have the ASU FAFSA hotline available as well, where students can call in, speak to a representative, and get all of their questions regarding the FAFSA answered. Students can schedule a virtual appointment with a FAFSA expert to help them through the application. And then we also have a number of in-person FAFSA appointments that students can schedule throughout the state, so they can look and see on azfafsa.org all of those resources that I mentioned, and also their nearest in-person FAFSA resource center if they'd like to book something in person. So all of the FAFSA assistant services that we have available on azfafsa.org are completely free. So students and families can book any type of appointment with a FAFSA expert to help them with the application. Again, it's completely free. They don't have to pay for anything. It's available to all students and families statewide. So no matter if you're from one of the 15 counties, a certain small town, large town within Arizona, we're here to help you. All of our resources that we have are available in English and Spanish. Get your FAFSA done faster at azfafsa.org.
We want to thank everyone at the Scottsdale Museum of Contemporary Art for having us out here today, and thank you for joining us. We hope you have a very happy holiday season. I'm Kate Longworth. We'll see you next time on Arizona Living, Your Life, Your Style, where we help you live your best life.